We got a big weekend coming up with UFC 300 right around the corner. We have matchups set to make history in the octagon. This is one you do not want to miss. I've teamed up with DraftKings Sportsbook, and we're going to bring you closer to the action. Right now, all new customers who bet just $5 will get $150 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings app right now. Sign up using my code Sonnen. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Stay in on the action and use your bets for DraftKings same-game parlays for a shot at an even bigger payout. Combine multiple bets together from the same fight, including total rounds and method of victory. If sports betting is not yet available in your state, you can still join in on all the fun with DraftKings Daily Fantasy and have the shot to win bigger prizes. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. New customers sign up using the promo code Sonnen. Bet just $5 and you will get $150 in bonus bets instantly. That's promo code Sonnen only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Chandler and Poirier have found each other again. And Chandler and Poirier are in a very interesting position for many reasons. Like for these two to be bickering at one another over on one of the .coms getting written up by Drake Riggs. I mean, not for nothing. They're not on 300, but they're both going to be in town, and they've already fought. But it was an awesome fight that everybody would like to see again. There's a lot of rematches going on. These two were supposedly going to be the commonality for Conor McGregor. But if you like that storyline, then they can be a commonality and go find themselves. I don't know that that's going to happen, but everybody likes Dustin Poirier, and everybody likes Michael Chandler. Dustin Poirier is not mean to anybody ever for any reason, and neither is Michael Chandler. So there's just something about when they find each other that's compelling. And there's something about when they start talking about that fight that they had, because I remember it so clearly. I remember the finish. I remember them being on the ground. I know how it happened. I know what round it was in. I mean, I'm just saying, like, that was an awesome fight that I never thought would get again. And I'm not predicting it for you now. But I will tell you that who you're going to match up Dustin Poirier with is wildly difficult. I mean, one of the reasons that Dustin hasn't been booked yet is you got to take your oars out of the water and let a few things play out. I'm not convinced that the best idea if Gaethje gets a win, I'm not convinced that if Gaethje goes into Islam. I think if Sarkarian also gets a win, that you're going to need to stare at that. But I think that Gaethje goes right back into a title fight. It's just for the BMF title, and it's against Dustin. That's my thought. I don't pretend to be wonderful matchmaker. I'm sharing you that that's at least a thought. Now, the reason I say that is it really does prove and illustrate that we don't quite know what we're going to do with Dustin. And if Dustin was to go in against Gaethje, which would make a lot of sense and sell a lot of tickets that people would love to see, no question about it, but it's not only a rematch, it's a trilogy. So once I get you on board to understand that a rematch for Dustin is very possible. I mean, in a perfect world, would it be Conor? In a perfect world, but never did get that Nate Diaz business. I mean, it's one of these things. Where exactly do you want him? And the same thing goes with Michael Chandler. And again, I'm not going as far as to tell you that I think this is the beginning. These guys are going to find their way to each other. I'm just letting you know when Michael Chandler does start speaking up, it's on somebody that's not Conor, it's refreshing. Like Michael Chandler just found out how to be entertaining. Truly. Here on the back end of his career, he might be the most entertaining guy in the sport. He might have surpassed Conor. Like, we want to know. We have to get to those press conferences and let it rip. Right? They say you want to be the man, you got to beat the man. Well, give them both a microphone, and it's not as foregone of a conclusion as you might think. Chandler is fire. So, how long is he going to wait? That's everybody's guess. That's everybody's question. And what if? I mean, if you just want to play the what if game, what if? Like if Michael Chandler was to not get Conor McGregor, I will tell you right now, at a minimum, he is going to want to delay McGregor. He might not admit it. It might be some evil side within him. But if he gets inconvenienced, he is going to want to inconvenience Conor. Well, if Conor's not going to fight Chandler, he's going to fight Poirier, isn't he? So if Chandler was to not fight Conor, but he was to go and steal Poirier, right? I know we're having some funny, I know we're going in circles, but these guys are talking for a reason. These guys are going back and forth and they're sour about something. And I don't quite know where that comes from Dustin's standpoint. Because he won. But for Chandler to point out, yeah, but it was a position and the fight was real competitive. Like, that's all true. That's all true. And I don't think we're going in that direction, but I do think it would be strategically very wise to start to build something else. Whether the UFC likes it, the opponent likes it, whether you even like it yourself, to build something else and start to have that interest is what Conor has always done so well. One of the reasons the guys are on bended knee and they're begging and they're kissing the ring and all these things that Conor says in Red Panty Night, it's a celebration. One of the things is because he never lets you think it's just you. I mean, he's been doing this to Chandler as recently as 1 month ago, talking about, I'm going to go box Manny Pacquiao. And maybe that truly is an opportunity. It would seem like if you wanted to go do it, you would just go box Manny Pacquiao. I mean, what a perfect scenario for a guy that's got a hurt leg. Going to a sport where you don't even use the leg. I mean, I can tell you, as a wrestler, some of the best Greco guys we had were guys that never wanted to do Greco. They hurt their knee and couldn't do freestyle anymore. Go ask Dave Zuniga how the transition worked out. I mean, just sharing for you. I don't know how much truth there is to Conor and Manny, but that isn't the point. I don't know that there has to be truth to Chandler going after Poirier. It has to be perception. And frankly, I like it.